को बहुत भाग्यशाली समझता हूं कि मुझे सड़क सुरक्षा की इस बेहद ज़रूरी मुहिम से जुड़ने और आप सबको इससे जुड़ने का मौका मिला है। इस बातचीत को आगे बढ़ाने के लिए अब हमारे साथ होंगी एक बहुत खास शख्सियत। वो आध्यात्मिक गुरु हैं, योग गुरु हैं और ज़िंदगी को आसान बनाने के हुनर भी सिखाते हैं। समाज और प्रकृति के लिए मुहिम चलाते हैं। लेकिन इनकी शख्सियत का एक बड़ा पहलू ये भी है कि ये बाइक्स को लेकर भ्रमण पर निकल जाते हैं, लोगों को जोड़ने के लिए निकल जाते हैं। उन्होंने हाल ही में मोटरसाइकिल पर यूरोप और मिडिल ईस्ट के 26 देशों में 100 दिन और 30,000 किलोमीटर का सफ़र तय किया है। नॉन स्टॉप काम करते रहना उनकी आदत है और दुनिया की भलाई उनके अस्तित्व के मूल में है।
I don't ride motorcycles for freedom. For me, when I was young, it was the most sensible way to see the world around me.
हम स्वागत करते हैं सद्गुरु जी का। नमस्कारम सद्गुरु।
Namaskaram.
To start this conversation with your love of bikes, everybody is intrigued by your love of bikes. So how does this wandering mystic loves to explore the world, but loves to explore the world on bikes? Why bike, not anything else? Why not? There is a fashion of padayatra. There is a fashion. There could be Land Rovers and Jeeps and trucks and but why bike, Sadhguru?
Well, I rode a lot of motorcycles when I was young, but I crisscrossed India. But that time the machines were of a different kind and the roads, you couldn't call them roads, most of it.
Yes, yes.
So after that, the last 30 years, I never ever even sat on a motorcycle. It's only when the Rally for Rivers came that people said, Sadhguru, why don't you ride? And I didn't even know if I can ride. 30 years I have not sat on a motorcycle. Then in Bangalore city I started riding and then I found I have not lost a day. So it was very much a part of me and then the pandemic came, everybody said keep social distance. So I thought riding fast enough on a motorcycle is the best way to keep social distance. So I rode all over America, I did 17 Native American nations and 20 US states. And then the the Save Soil movement came. You said, why not Padayatra? I thought about it. If I walk from London to Kaveri, going through Europe, Central Asia, Arabia and through India, that's sure death for me. I know that at this stage in my life. So the next option was to cycle. That also looked like a suicide to me. So I took the motorcycle. When I say motorcycle, people don't understand what it means to stay on a motorcycle for 100 days, ride 30,000 kilometers, not just riding, 691 events on the way.
Wow.
Because the thing was to move the people. Last 30 years I've been talking about soil, but everybody has been sleeping on it. All these millions of supports we have over 17 million volunteers around the world. If they wake up, it could happen. But they don't think soil is even an issue. So once I started riding, initially they thought Sadhguru is having fun. Then as they saw that every day I am putting my life to risk, These 100 days I could have died 100 times over. There were so many things, because we're not just riding. We are doing enormous number of events. 691 means on an average, 7 events per day I'm doing. So riding 18 to 20 hours a day. So people thought I'm on a suicide mission, so everybody woke up, and that's why the movement became successful. Today 81 nations are in the process of forming soil policy. So the motorcycle was a judicious decision, not my love for motorcycles.
Sadhguru, thank you and congratulations for the, the immense amount of success you had with your biking. Today in particular, we are here, I'm part of this campaign which we are running, Sadak Suraksha Abhiyan.
This I would like to say one thing. See, one thing is, it's written in Hindi, I have to struggle to read it alphabet by alphabet, I read it. It's written in English, if I'm driving and I look at that board, it looks like Russian to me.
Yeah.
Okay? So, the maximum number of fatalities on road is in Tamil Nadu right now. So southern Indian states, most of them cannot read this. So we need to really think about that also.
Yeah, so road signs, definitely I think the people who are…
See, especially on national highways, so elaborate boards is not something that they can read. I think we are just copying the international signages. It's good. But we must create more signages and educate people that this sign means this.
Absolutely.
So sign language is important because we have so many languages.
Yes, Sadhguru, because also the literacy level, while working on this campaign, I realized that that's another issue. We have many languages in this country, that's another issue. You're crossing a border and you're reaching somewhere else. So I think there are a lot of issues there in terms of… So that brings me to the consciousness. This entire movement is about, on one hand, about law and order. Have you, in your experience, now if somebody goes on a bike, as a biker, we were talking about biking, I think you talk to youth, they feel almost invincible on a bike. There is
That's the reason
going
why they
full
ride.
throttle, going full throttle. You'd never have the temptation of going full throttle on a bike where no holds bar, and as we say gati in Hindi, gati ke saath mati kaise aaye?
You're saying playing with the fate.
So how do you get good sense with speed? How do you get good sense with the speed? I mean, when you're sitting on a bike, you have got a machine in your hand, you're going full throttle. And Sadhguru, this question is also very important from your point of view because you empower people, spiritually empower people. How do you control power? How do you learn to control?
You're putting me in a very bad spot.
No, I'm not saying.
Because whether it's traffic rules or any rule, I'm 100% abiding by the rules, for which I pay a huge price in day-to-day affairs of life in this country. Only crime that I commit is speed. Don't take that away from me. And see, 65 years I've been riding and driving otherwise. I've never been hurt anybody or hurt myself. That means I'm driving sensibly. But does not mean slow is sensible. It's a wrong perception of things. Now, at the same time, can everybody handle speed? There are many aspects to this. One thing is, for example, two-wheelers, because I'm supposed to talk about two-wheelers. I largely drive four-wheelers, but anyway, I'm supposed to talk about two-wheelers.
The context is such, yeah.
You do one thing from now on, you do this. When you're driving, if there's a two-wheeler going in front of you, first thing is check if these two wheels are aligned. Believe me, in this country, except for the first 6 months or maybe 8 months of driving, after that, nearly 70% of the vehicles are misaligned. That guy is going to fall very easily.
Yeah.
People don't know this, something as simple as this. Like this, he will sit like this and drive, he thinks he's balancing. The smallest excuse, he is going to crash or he's going to hit somebody because he's compromised his maneuverability in a serious way with something like that. Tire conditions. These are all things which need to be looked at. For commercial vehicles, there is something like every year there's a renewal of license or whatever, they have to go and check. But for a private vehicle, you can't do that, no authority can do that. So, one thing is the vehicular condition. Road, of course, there are many problems. It's great, new roads are coming up. I have also driven around both on 2 wheels and 4 wheels. Many roads in India are beginning to look like, even with flowers in between in the median, it's looking like California or Florida. Okay, it's great. But the drivers, they don't belong to any of those places.
But sir, how do you compare driving in India and driving in Europe and your experience? Do you enjoy driving there more than driving here?
No, I love to drive in India because I like the challenge. But in terms of risk evaluation, it's terrible. You could kill yourself very, very easily. If not, it's another driver, it could be an animal, it could be anything, pothole or something can get you. Road humps are deadly dangerous because people who cross the road don't have the necessary awareness about their own life. You're putting road humps and road humps everywhere. Right now, we have road humps, even going to the yoga center, you've seen there are road humps. But now if any VIP comes, they will remove all the road humps. So they are not to be bumped around. But all of us are bumped around all the time. And you put up the road humps, usually village panchayat will put up the road humps. It is not in any way safe, those road humps. So these are the three aspects: the mechanical condition of the vehicle that you ride, the road condition, of course for a two-wheeler road condition is important, just this big stone can knock you off. And the condition of the drivers. See, it's very easy to do this. The government cannot do this. Let us say you allow NGOs and others to set up both training and certification for two-wheeler drivers. The license issuing the government can do, but if they're certified by an agency or an organization, they must naturally get the license from the RTO. If you make like that, we can make sure the quality of driver on the street is significantly improved. And even those drivers who have license, once in 5 years they must go through this. It is necessary to do that because whichever way they learn driving in the beginning, see, how we used to drive in this country 30 years ago and how you need to drive today because of the roads, the vehicles which are much faster, and also the traffic, the volume of traffic that's on the road and the number of people who are walking on the street, everything has changed. So I'm saying how we were driving then, how we are driving now is very different because the conditions have changed completely on all levels. Vehicle has changed immensely, technology has changed, road condition has changed, the population and the traffic levels have changed. At that time, you could simply drive with your eyes closed because if you drive from Mysore to Bangalore at that time, we would…
और चलिए अब सीधी तस्वीरें आपको दिखाएंगे जहां पर